I'm Jaime Henning, President and CEO with the Greeley Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined today by a couple of important guests, and we wanted to actually talk with you a little bit about everything you've heard buzz about around the 5-star certification program. We actually received our certification yesterday to move ahead, contingent on a couple of other pieces, and wanted to make sure we clarified a little bit around that. Joining me on the call today was our applicant from the City of Greeley, who did so much work. Thank you, Anissa Hollingshead, for joining us. Anissa is the city clerk, and she has done Omen's work on this project. So thanks for being on. We thought she could do a great job today of clarifying a few things for our restaurants and our community members who are watching this. And then also on our administrative committee and a great advocate for the overall program, Matt Estrin. Matt, thank you so much for joining today. And Matt is owner of 477 Distilling and also of the Greeley Hatchet House, newly opened. So he is a business owner of more than one business here in Greeley, and he is very invested. So thank you, Matt, for your advisement all along the way and for helping our restaurants understand a little more about this today. So to kick things off, I'll just mention the 5-star certification program, A Safe Place to Be, was actually created around the idea of consumer confidence. It's been a great, elegant solution for bringing together our interest in overseeing health and safety for our community, and then also getting our businesses a little more open so that we can move through the pandemic to some resiliency for our businesses. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. I think Matt's actually going to be the one to ask us questions today. So I'll turn it over to him to host, and hopefully we can fill you in on a few more details around the program and encourage you to join us. So Matt, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks. So the idea here was that as an owner of a business here in town, I've been very involved to be on the groundwork of this 5-star program. I've had the opportunity to sit in on several meetings where I've had access to information that not all the restaurants get, and working with Jaime to try to get some of the communication out to our current applicants and those that are interested in applying as well. And so we thought we would just record a Zoom call with me as a business owner, asking probably the two most important people in this process questions of clarification, questions for anybody that's considering applying, questions for those that people have already applied, some of the hotbed topics. And we felt like this would be a much more interactive and informative way of letting you guys know these things rather than just a big email that's been going out. So first, I want to say how grateful I have been as a business owner to the Greeley Area Chamber of Commerce and Jaime. I know that when we shut down right away in March, Jaime was on the phone with me and several other businesses right away saying, hey, we're in this with you. We're not going to take a nap for the next 9 months or 12 months or however long it's going to last. We're going to do everything we can to get you guys going. And so as somebody that's very close to the Greeley Area Chamber of Commerce, I've seen that in tons of different ways, from developing the Greeley Area Recovery Fund, which was the private-public sponsorship deal where businesses were given funds way quicker than any other city or community in Colorado, if I'm being honest. And then most recently, Jaime has worked with her team and the city to develop this 5-star variance program for which she is serving not just Greeley Area Chamber of Commerce members, but she's serving the entire community, which is pretty incredible. And so I'm going to kick it back to you, Jaime. Give us just kind of a overview, how it came to be, and really what your goal for this program is.
Thank you so much for your nice comments, Matt. On the overall program, I'll just say this: the best partnerships are public-private partnerships. There's so much leverage in working with our city here in Greeley, and they've been such incredible partners all along the way. There's a poster in my office that says collaboration over competition. I proudly state that, but that's really been more than a mantra. It's been our work in action during COVID and during the pandemic to help our businesses. You're pretty inspiring what you're all able to accomplish. I watch you all grind and hustle and figure things out along the way. You're problem solvers. So if we can emulate that and make some good things happen, that's what we're here to do. So when you look at these programs that are coming out, and I'll talk here in a little bit more about SB1, some legislation we worked on to bring some more dollars Greeley's way through the fund. It's been pretty incredible since the start how all the chambers of commerce basically came together to form an idea around Mesa County's program. And together we were able to advocate up through the governor's office, and now the state came out with a program, and the state has looked to verify communities, get them more open, help out for these businesses who've primarily received closures, service organizations, the ones that we all count on to be kind of the front door to the community. So the Chamber's been there advocating from the start, and will continue to be through the program with all of you, trying to see it forward. So the city was an incredible aligned partner when we came to them to say, yes, let's apply for this. The application process happens through the City of Greeley. So without them, this actually wouldn't have happened. And Anissa's really headed a lot of that process. So our job is to find solutions for businesses, advocate for them at the local, state, and federal level. And we work through a lobbyist and some other really important voices. So we'll continue to do that. And if you have other solutions or ideas, send them our way. So I'll turn it back to you with that, Matt.
Yeah. If Jaime has any gray hair, it's because I've been calling her the last 3 weeks every day, like, where are we at in this process? What's going on? So she's been great fielding the calls. You mentioned SB1. You've said early on that that the highest priority is to get businesses back open. The second highest priority is to get us what we need, and that's money, because money talks and pays for staff and keeps our businesses alive. And so you've worked your butt off to do that. And so SB1 is another opportunity for local businesses to get some additional funds. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so the Greeley Area Recovery Fund, which you'll all remember we activated in the first 2 weeks of COVID, actually had about $600,000 to distribute. Through the first and initial rounds of funding, we've helped around 200 businesses, and the goal was to help during the gap before federal funds arrived. In the full march toward dollars and finding solutions, we were able in the short session to actually secure a municipal carve-out for all of our cities across Weld County, to apply where some of the other counties were applying, a place for us to step in and get some of those state dollars that they wanted to put toward our businesses. So the great news is the city once again stepped in and applied for those dollars. And we heard just yesterday that we will be receiving those dollars, up to $650,000 in assistance that will go to those directed areas that the Greeley Area Recovery Fund was funding in round 2 already. So restaurants and the like, gyms, businesses like that. There's a few concerted NAICS codes, and we're actually working on our website right now to finalize it. So starting Monday is our hope, or Tuesday at the latest, we'll have the dollars open for SB1. Businesses can go in and apply. And I know right now there's a lot of fatigue around even applying for these dollars. It's been a lot for businesses to undergo, and there are more hoops to jump through for this. But the great news is there's anywhere from $3,500 to $7,000 per business awarded. We really want to give these dollars out, because if we don't give them out, they also go back to the state. So let's make sure we keep these dollars in Greeley, and we're able to give those out to businesses. If you have questions on it, you can call us, but we'll be launching that. And I'll put a quick plug in. We're going to do a chamber coffee next week, which you're probably all familiar with, that actually brings together a bunch of leaders around what are all the funding sources available. PPP just opened up, so we're going to talk with some bankers. The SBDC is there to help you navigate. And then we, of course, have dollars. So there's just a lot swirling right now, and we want to help businesses find their way through that. So just a little bit about SB1 and some of the other ways we're trying to find some dollars for all of you.
Just to clarify, Jaime, if you've applied for round 1 and round 2, can you also apply for this?
You can, absolutely. So we are going to be encouraging all businesses to step back in with us. So absolutely.
Awesome. Good. Well, we're going to transition and ask Anissa a few questions. Hopefully she's hydrated and ready to answer, because she's got a few things to answer here. But yeah, she's been working her tail off too. Really one of the ones in direct contact with the state trying to make this happen. And it's been pretty crazy. So as you guys have all heard, we have been approved. Our city has been approved for the 5-star variance program. So I don't get it wrong, I'm just going to read the headline in the Greeley Trib today. Pending contingency, Greeley, Evans, Windsor approved for 5-star program to ease restrictions on businesses. A headline like that can give a lot of different ideas of what it actually means to be approved. So Anissa, why don't you just give us the kind of the 30,000 foot view of what it means for our city to have been approved, what these contingencies may be, what the role of Evans and Windsor is in us being approved as well.
Absolutely. So first, it is incredibly exciting to be able to have the opportunity as a city for municipalities to move forward in this program. This is a program that was designed to be implemented at the county level. And when we were at the point of trying to figure out how Greeley businesses could take advantage of this opportunity and trying to map out a path for that, with the Chamber's partnership being able to figure out how we could move forward at a municipal level was really a significant shift. And so to do that with our partners in Evans and Windsor and start building a coalition of areas around our community that could move forward, that's been very significant and a very positive move. So it took a little longer than we had originally anticipated and hoped, but we're getting there, and that's really the important part. On this side of the contingency, what we are contingent upon is metrics in our public health measures, because this program is really important for our businesses, it's really important for our community, and it really is an effort at ensuring that we are maintaining our public health while we're allowing our businesses to expand their operations. And so we are approved, our framework is good, the structure of the program is solid. We've met the requirements of the state to move forward, to start working with our businesses. We can start certifying our businesses now. What is different for us right now, or what the contingency refers to, is that the part of the program that allows our businesses to operate with increased capacity will not take effect until our metrics are all in line with our current level on the state COVID-19 dial. So right now, Weld County, and by extension our communities, are in level orange according to the state. However, not all of our metrics that the state CDPHE Health Department looks at are inside of level orange. We've got one of 3 primary metrics that they look at that's still in level red. And so until that measure, and it's the measure of incidents per 100,000. So until that hits the level for level orange with everything else in our metrics, we need our businesses to continue operating where they are right now at level orange. And then once all of our metrics are in line with orange, our certified businesses will be able to enjoy that increased capacity to go to the level yellow restrictions.
Yeah, that's, and the metric we're looking for is 350 per 100,000 of the incidence report. And that's a 2-week accumulative, is that right?
Right, it's the 2-week cumulative number overall that they look at when they do that metric. We need to be at that 350 cases per 100,000 for 7 consecutive days.
7 consecutive days, yeah. Which I think is a good challenge for us as a community to keep doing the things that we're doing, which are working. Our numbers are going down, and so the quicker that we can get there, the quicker that certified businesses can open at an increased capacity. So right now, every business can operate at 25% in orange, and having the 5-star variance, having the 5-star certification doesn't necessarily give you any benefit other than, and to me, a huge benefit is it gives you the guidelines of how to keep your customers safe, which I think is very important. But in terms of the increased capacity, it doesn't give you the benefit until our community reaches that 350 people per 100,000 incidence rate, which is something good for us to understand. Another interesting thing that I can just say is in the meetings that I've been in, the way the state is reading this, that they have separated out Greeley, Windsor, and Evans from all of Weld County, which is actually helpful for us because right now those 3 cities combined are trending a little bit lower than where the Weld County numbers are. That's correct, right?
Yes, it is.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we've been approved. We can start certifying businesses, which is incredible. And so walk me through, this morning we were on a call and you said that we have about 30 applicants so far, and our hope is to get a whole lot more once this program rolls out. And of those 30, about 12 are inspection ready, as I think what you said, or you moved them into the inspection column, which means there's a number of applicants that have applied, but there was something in their application that didn't get them inspection ready. So for all of us that have applied like me, or for all the people that are watching and are considering applying for their business. And let me just say, by the way, this isn't just for restaurants. This is for all businesses, for gyms, for recreation centers, for anything really you can think of. This is an opportunity for them to level up at some point and to have some good health measures. So that being said, walk us through the application process, what you're looking for, why are certain applications being moved into inspections when others aren't? And for those that will eventually apply, what are some tips you can give them to really fill out a complete application the first time?
Absolutely. So part of this has been the gradual process that we've been working through for our approval and getting all of the aspects of the program vetted and approved through the state. And so our initial pre-application online didn't have all of the details about what was required from businesses in terms of implementation and compliance plans. So we've been working through that and getting that guidance finalized. That was just finalized a week ago. So we've sent that out to businesses that had already done the pre-application so that they've got the information to supplement what they perhaps submitted originally. And so that's what we've been working with our existing pool of applicants on to make sure that all of our businesses have the full guidance now that that's final and understand what all of the mitigation strategies are, what we're looking for in terms of compliance with those strategies, and how to communicate that with us to start that application process. And so we're working with our partners or our businesses in getting that done for those that are already in the queue. For new applicants, when you go to the online application at the asafeplacetobe.com website, it's going to have that guidance document linked there. So it'll be very easy for the business to see exactly what we're looking for and work through that online application to get all of the materials in there right away. So that's kind of, hopefully, it sets us on a good path for businesses moving forward. And of course, we're always happy to talk with businesses if they've got questions through the application process, want to talk through different things. Our contact information for our Greeley team is on the Safe Place to Be website as well. So please feel free to reach out because we want to help you get across the finish line on this because it's to all of our benefit. This is a program for the entire community. And even right now for businesses that are pursuing the certification before the capacity levels increase, it still is allowing you to offer the assurances to your customers that you are committed to these safe strategies and mitigation measures that they can feel like it's a safe place for their family to be. You know, that's, I know, something very significant to me in our household, and I know many others across our community. So to be able to share that with your potential customers, patrons, and the community at large is a big, factor. And it's also something that, frankly, we really are hopeful that these mitigation strategies can help with keeping our numbers down and keeping those metrics trending in the right direction. That's the whole purpose behind this. We're not doing these things just to check a box, but because it should be measures that are having a measurable impact on our public health outcomes as a community.
And it's not forever either. I mean, on the call we had this morning, we were even reminded by one of the doctors in our community. I don't know what names I'm allowed to say, but one of the doctors in our community that's very involved in this pandemic. And he even said it's going to end at some point. And so this isn't forever. This is to keep us safe, keep our numbers trending down. And we're going to get to a place where it's not needed moving forward. But for now, it's a great opportunity for us as businesses to have some strategies to keep our customers safe and healthy, which is what we all want. As far as the application, Jamie, I'm just going to let you, if you have anything you want to throw in there, because you've been really involved at developing the website and getting it all put together and ready to go. Any feedback you want to provide on the application side?
I would just say we had an incredible initial response to the variance program, but then as we move through it and we're waiting for application, we kind of were in this holding pattern, right? So I would say at this point we're approved. So for those businesses who are maybe questioning it or had questions along the way, like Anissa said, we're very open to answering any of those questions. If there's any reticence on your part or just things you've heard out in the community, we're happy to clarify on those. I've been on the phone with lots of businesses doing that. So please feel free to reach out to the city contact you see on the website or to the chamber. We'll be happy to take you through that. And please encourage other businesses to join. I think the louder and more resilient our committee, the better outcomes for the community. So on the whole, we really want, while it's an opt-in program, we want a great response to this. And we want a lot of businesses. One of the side things I see happening is a lot of idea sharing through this process. Our restaurants are figuring things out. They're developing satellite kitchens and lots of other things. This could be a pretty incredible group to just throw ideas by, frankly, broader than the one we've all stepped into. So we hope lots of people apply. And if you have questions, reach out to us.
Cool. So application's finished. You've been moved into the inspection side of things. Anissa, walk us through what an inspection looks like. I will say from a business side, this is where I've heard a lot of rumors circulating among other businesses that the inspections are going to be crazy, that we're going to be inspected once a week once we reopen. And so maybe clarify what does the initial inspection look like, and what can we expect as businesses? And then once we've been approved and we have our certification, are there further inspections? What does the enforcement piece look like? Just give us some clarity there.
Right. Great question, Matt. So there is a two-part initial inspection, and that is the only scheduled inspection that will take place as part of this program. So as a business has its application submitted, it's ready to go, our inspection team will reach out to schedule a virtual inspection first, and we'll be doing that primarily through Microsoft Teams, which is an application very much like Zoom. It works on a laptop, on a phone, on a tablet, very easy to use that way. And it's really, this is part of a public health strategy too, because it's minimizing the time that our inspectors and our businesses need to be face-to-face. So our inspectors can spend a little more time with the business going through their application, the different mitigation strategies on the approval checklist, and just hearing from the business how they're meeting those requirements and working through any questions with them. Once they get that virtual inspection done, the next step is to schedule a final site visit. And so that will be much shorter than the virtual inspection. The inspector will be able to go out, bring the business's certificate with them, and just verify in person what they did in the virtual inspection and deliver the business their certification to get them started. From a compliance standpoint, we will not be making follow-up inspections on a routine basis. There is no plan for ongoing compliance checks in that way. Instead, the program is designed for any issues that arise if there's really a complaint-based formula for follow-up with businesses. So in the event that any kind of complaint comes in through CDPHE or through any of our partners to the city directly, et cetera, we are obligated to follow up on that and work with the business. Our first focus is always on education, making sure that the businesses understand their requirements, understand what's happening in the business location, what may have given rise to any concerns, et cetera, and working with the business on a strategy of how to move forward in compliance with the program.
Matt, if I might hop in too, I'll just mention, I truly believe between the Chamber's partnership with the city and our discussion around this, which has been much and plenty, the spirit of this really is to help navigate businesses through this to make them successful. That's really what we want to do. I will say in Anissa's and my process, even in the application process, some areas of the process actually eliminated people from applying who were not in compliance or who had been non-compliant before. Our goal moving forward with this program is to bring as many businesses into that compliance who want to opt into the program. So we actually worked with CDPHE to create an exemption that if there was a non-compliant business who maybe had been in that position before, we want to work with them to try to bring them along in our process. So the spirit of this is education, navigation towards success, and that's what we'll try to do. So
Awesome. So let's I think that kind of clarifies the process for businesses and really answers a lot of the rumor pieces. Let's hit on a couple of the hot topics, which are the fun conversations to have, because I think this is where some of the other rumors have been flying around. A portion of this and a piece that's being put on the businesses is the side of contact tracing, where we're collecting people's information. That way, if there is some sort of an outbreak or there was some sort of exposure, we have the ability to contact them and let them know there was some exposure. One of the common misconceptions that's flying around is that that's illegal for us to do, that it's violating some HIPAA laws. And the other thing too is I think there's some misconceptions about how we actually collect that information for contact tracing. So I was in a meeting maybe 2 weeks ago when Anissa kind of broached this subject and really gave some clarity on what the city has investigated, what businesses are allowed to do, some strategies for the contact tracing piece. So if you wouldn't mind, just speak to that a little bit.
Absolutely. So when it comes to contact tracing, that is a required element of the program. So it's not optional, but it can take different forms. And what's really important for our businesses to know and realize is, as you stated, Matt, it is legal. There's nothing unconstitutional about it. There's no HIPAA provisions that are being violated because you're not collecting any private health information from anyone. The easiest way to do contact tracing is probably going to be through a reservation system. Reservations are not required for restaurants, but they are recommended. And for gym and fitness facilities, they are required. But regardless, if you're doing some sort of a reservation system, you're already collecting name and contact information for someone. That's contact tracing. So depending upon how you want to operate the program in a way that makes sense for your business, you've got different options. And we don't want to be prescriptive about what that has to be. Just at the core, you have to be doing something as a restaurant specifically to get contact information for each party that's coming into your business and tying that to where they're seated in the restaurant. That's what the requirement is. How you want to do that is completely up to you. I've been in a restaurant recently that in a neighboring community that's in a 5-star program that, they had a QR code posted at each table. And when the hostess sat you, they indicated, scan that QR code with your smartphone. It'll take you to a website where you can enter your party information and answer some screening questions about health status. Great. If that works for your business, something like that, fabulous. If you want to do reservations or take names as people come in and just basic contact information, fabulous. The bottom line is it's just a way that we can have some sort of mechanism to identify who has been in a location. So in the event there were any health issues that arose, those individuals can be notified of that. Nothing more onerous than that. Nothing, that data is not being used for any other purpose. It's not being given to anyone elsewise. It's solely for that purpose. And so it's really to the benefit of the patrons to provide that information and be able to avail themselves to that notification should the need arise.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I think at 477, we've adopted a reservation system. We use Square as our POS system, speaking to all the restaurateurs out there or people that may have a POS system. We use Square, and they actually have a very easy thing called appointments in Square that you can kind of hack and use as a reservation system. And we've done it with great, it's been great for us. And one of the nice things with that is any customer that we've had for the last almost 3 years since we've been open is already in our database. So when they come in, we actually don't have to collect all their information. A lot of times it's already in there. So if we just get a name, it's pretty easy just to put them in our system. So yeah, we're big fans of the reservation piece. It makes it really easy, quick. And to me, it's a little bit less intrusive than filling out a form or something like that. But to your point, you're not, you guys aren't telling us how we have to do it, just that it's a part of the program, which is great. So let's move on to I think everybody's favorite topic in the world, masks, which is fun. And I know as a business owner, this is a tough one because we want our customers to feel comfortable and to want to come in there. But at the same time, we also want to make sure everybody stays safe. And so there's been over the last 9 months, I think we've all kind of learned the balance of masking and allowing and what not to allow. And so the 5-star program does have some guidelines around masking for customers. Obviously, the business needs to be masked, but let's just clarify what that looks like for a consumer walking into a 5-star place, what the masking requirements are going to be.
Yeah, I'll hop in first, but then I'll let Anissa kind of paint out a little more specifically what the program asks for. One of the things that we felt like this variance program brought together in a rather elegant way was trying to figure out, our businesses were saying that they had inconsistent guidance, right? Guidance that was actually similar. So they could all kind of be working under a similar mindset about how we approach all of these issues. And so I think for this program, part of what we've been able to do is provide and prescribe guidance to businesses who opt into the program on how we can consistently all work together. And one of the things mentioned in the meeting we had this morning with our administrative committee who's overseeing the program, actually by the doctor that Matt mentioned, was, mask up for business. The more we continually see our community numbers come down, the more effective this is going to be to get our businesses back open. And so this is a joint effort. I mean, this will require community messaging, business messaging. It requires us all to be on point and on the same message. So I think from a business perspective, the more we can engage in the positive practice that these businesses are doing, customer experience is incredibly important to businesses. This is the first thing I hear Matt mention, or anybody else. I mean, their clients are their lifeblood, right? We understand as a business, you don't have anything if you don't have customers. So I think what they're really trying to do here is manage a really tough situation. So if you can do anything, help them out as they're trying to move through this. Some of the earliest adopters of good practice around all of this, or the practice we knew at the time, were businesses. They were kind of moved into this quickly. So anything we can do to support them only makes and generates more dollars for our community, more businesses open. So whatever we can do to help them, that's what the Chamber's trying to do here. So I'll turn it over to Anissa for some more specifics about the program.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the world of public health around this, the two most effective things that we know for stopping this virus are masking and social distancing. And so that's why those are two pillars of this program. And so for our businesses, signage is your biggest friend, I think, on this. I know for myself, many times over the last several months, I've gotten to the front door of a location and seen a sign reminding me that masks are required. And maybe I left it in the car, or haven't pulled it out of my purse yet. And just that visual cue is an easy, non-confrontational way to remind most folks that that's an expectation, and just share that and let people know right out of the gate that that's an expectation to be in your business. As business owners too, I think, as Jaime talked about, making your customers your partner in this, for all of our benefit. And in the case that you may have folks who are resistant to wearing a mask for whatever reason, offering them options. If a customer is not comfortable wearing a mask, doesn't choose to wear a mask, can they get takeout, without coming inside the location? Other ways that they can still, utilize the business, but without endangering the other customers or employees in the location, and offering that to them. And explaining as well that, this 5-star certification is important for your business. And a condition of you maintaining your certification is upholding these requirements. So it actually gives you as a business kind of an additional prong to fall back on to encourage your customers to help be your partner in meeting these guidelines so that you can keep participating in this program and enjoying the benefits of the program, and the whole community enjoying the benefits of the program.
Awesome. Yep. And that's great information. I think that's one of the pieces that I've heard from several businesses is we would love some more cohesive strategy or some cohesive guidelines around masking. So from one business to the next, it's going to be really very similar to what you experience. And so this 5-star certification program really provides that for us as business owners, which is great. And so we're grateful for that. As we come to a close here, I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds if you have any last comments. Jaime, I'll probably let you close it out. But Anissa, anything else that you want to say to the businesses, to consumers watching?
Just we appreciate your patience and understand the importance of this program. We're very glad to be able to be moving forward with things, and we just stand ready to work with you.
Yeah, I'll actually close out today by just saying, I think we've had incredible partners. Anissa has been wonderful through this process. She's made herself a resident expert on the issues, as you can see today, and really helping offer guidance to those businesses. I also want to thank, we've had 7 or 8 core businesses, and Matt, you served on those phone calls. We were in touch several times in the evening, texting each other, calling. These are people who don't just own one business in Greeley. They own restaurants, and they own multiple restaurants. And I think it's been impressive to watch. They have, deep investment in Greeley, emotionally and financially. And so they want to see us succeed. I'll also say we have several partners who span the gap with our Larimer partners who have restaurants in all areas and Evans. So the other thing we're most proud of is that this has been a solution for our partners in the Greeley area. So so grateful to work with both of you on it. And we'll look forward to putting out more content like this to help work through the questions as we go. So Matt, thanks for the great idea today and for pulling us all together. Awesome. And with that, we'll see you all soon.